Dear Diary, I have ran to go get my covering, my blanket, my shield. I have decided to braid my hair again, and this was the only style that I could think of that I can wear, being at such a weird, awkward stage in length. And I do have an event that I will be participating in, and so this was the only thing that I can come up with. You guys have seen me braid my hair a gazillion times, so that is what I'm doing here. Nothing nothing spectacular. If you would like more close-up shots of me braiding my hair, then there are other videos. I do have it up as a card for you to check out that playlist if you want to see me braiding my hair. But again, nothing spectacular, just doing some box braids here. I decided to make these braids probably about the size of my index finger. I started inserting these braids around 5:30 p.m. and I want to say that I finally got done with them around 11 o'clock p.m. So it took me about 6 hours to complete, and I still had a little piece at the top to do, and that was simply because I did run out of hair. I had bought 2 packs of hair. Each pack consisted of 3 bundles, but it just was not enough, so I ended up the next day having to buy another bundle just to complete the style. So the back is done for the most part, and so I'm just going to finish the 2 or 3 there, and then I will finish up the other 3 sections. I typically do my hair in sections, and I prefer to start in the back because it's just easier for me. I feel like once I've completed the back, everything else is quick from there. Plus the front, I like to try to do my best to frame my braids in such a way that it is flattering for my face shape. And so that's the main reason why I typically always just start in the back first, versus starting in the front first. So this particular color that I have here, I think is T something 20. So I think T12030 or T2030. It's something like that. So basically it's like a darker shade brown, and then as you get to the bottom it turns into the color 30. Now this particular color I really prefer wearing it more so in the summer. I just feel like it looks better on me in the summer, but I have worn this particular color in the fall and it looked just fine. So yeah, I really can't complain. This particular hair that I'm using is one of my favorites. I believe this is Expressions, and I do believe this might be a 23 inch. I think this was 23 inch. I did not go for anything very long because I have just gotten to a place in life where, honey, for me, I just do not like a whole lot of long braids all down my back or even past my butt. And even still, I've never gotten braids past my butt, but I have gotten them right at the butt or a little bit above the butt. But again, the older I get, that's just too much hair for me. It's a challenge to sleep in. It's a challenge to maintain. And I am constantly busy, and I don't have time for that because I'm busy with other things. So when I go to bed, I want a good night's sleep. When I take a shower, I want to be able to lift these braids up and be able to properly wash my neck. And when I use the bathroom, I don't want to have to worry about doing all of this trickery with my braids so that I won't get any bowage or pee on it. You feel me? So I'm just at a point where really I prefer neck length braids or bob length braids. But because of the specific event that I will be in attendance for that special occasion, I just decided to go with something a little bit longer. But you better believe your girl is counting down because I'm already tired of it. So this is that little piece at the top that I had left. This is the very next day. So I'm just going in and I'm just finishing up that little patch that still needs to be braided. And I think that probably took me about a good 30 minutes, if that, to complete in total. And in total meaning complete the braid, dip it to seal the ends, and then I was good to go. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier before, I like this particular type of hair. I believe this is Expressions. It's very soft on the hand. The only one drawback that I have is it seems like there's just a slight bit of shedding, which I don't like. Now it's not a lot of shedding, but it's just enough where it's too much for me. And this too is one of the reasons why I do not like long braids these days, because it just seems like the fiber that this braiding hair is made out of, it's nothing like the fibers of the braiding hair in the early 2000s and the late 90s. Excuse me. It's, to me, in my personal opinion, it's definitely a different material. It's not as sustainable. I remember back in the early 2000s and even in the 90s, back then, us ladies could get away with wearing our braids for a good 3 months, a good full 3 months, with no shedding of the braiding hair at all. So this is definitely a different material that they are using now to create this synthetic hair. Now, y'all, let me just say this because I almost stopped within the process. This can be very time consuming the smaller you do your braids. Also, my braids are not twins, but they are sisters. So there are a few that may be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. But you would really have to be all the way up on the braids to really see that difference. I really just don't care. Because once you get started, you just want to get finished. So I just try not to let that bother me at all. So that's that number 30 that you see at the end. It's almost like that ombre type effect. So I kind of like it. Now, if you guys have been rocking with me for a while, you know that I typically tie a little knot there, and I'm old school. I like to go in with the lighter, and then I'll kind of burn that to seal that knot in to ensure that it does not come loose. But that's just my process. Again, I come from the old school, so I just do mine that way. Let me also remind you, it does burn your fingers, but I have become so accustomed to it to the point where I can't even tell anymore. Maybe my tips have gotten stronger. But yeah, so okay, you guys, we have officially come down to it. These are the results. I absolutely love the way that it looks. It gives that summery type vibe. Still a little too long for me, but again, I should be able to hold out long enough with these for the event. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you tulips in the next one. By the way, if you have not subscribed, please support your girl and definitely subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free. I love to have you be a part of this tulip nation. I'll see you tulips in the next one. Smooches.